it was actually kind of shocking to read how many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. According to this Forbes article, over 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And before you think that people with higher incomes don't fall into this trap, just know that 28% of people earning $50,000 to $100,000 a year admit to living paycheck to paycheck. This basic definition of living paycheck to paycheck simply means that if your next paycheck did not hit your bank account, you probably couldn't cover your bills with the amount of cash that you have available in your checking or your savings account. If you ever felt like this, or you thought, it'd be nice to have a little bit of a cash buffer, then I think you're going to find this video to be helpful. Because in today's video, we're going to look at a personal cash flow statement, explaining it in simple terms, what it all means, and I'll give you access to download the very cash flow statement spreadsheet that you'll see here in this video, so you can create your own personal cash flow statement, stop living paycheck to paycheck, and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Easy stuff. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Tim, and on this channel I help physical therapists and other healthcare professionals improve their financial health. And in a way, you can think of the cash flow statement as the vital signs of your personal finance. If your general health isn't so good, you better believe your doctor is going to check your blood pressure, your heart rate, your temperature, draw some labs, all of those things. So it only makes sense that if you want to improve your financial health, we need to start tracking some vital signs, and those vital signs are tracked on the statement of cash flows. Shh, you hear that? I give it a couple of weeks. Definitely won't last through the end of the month. It's pretty bad. Now, the main reason I want you to think of these as your financial health vital signs is because they're tracked on an ongoing basis. You want to monitor your personal cash flow statement closely, especially as you start to improve your financial health. Eventually, you'll find ways to automate the tracking of your inflows and your outflows, so monitoring it monthly or even quarterly may be all that you need to do. Because when it comes down to it, the two main parts of a personal cash flow statement are very simple: money coming in and money going out. So let's take a look at a cash flow statement to see how it's tracked. Okay, at the top you'll see the first category, which is simply titled inflows. Now this section will cover all of these sources of income, from your salary, from side hustles to your main income, and even investment and dividend income, or other random income or capital gains that you've received throughout the year. Now the more your income goes up, the better chance you have to manage the outflows or the expenses, but if your income drops too low, you'll find yourself on life support pretty quickly, which usually results in using a credit card if you don't have an adequate emergency fund. And of course, racking up debt on a credit card will end up increasing your liabilities on your balance sheet, and you know what that does to your net worth if you saw the last video. Not good things. Not good things at all, my friends. So the inflow section is pretty straightforward. It simply tracks all the income that you have coming in each month. Now the next part of this statement dives into the outflows, and it starts with your savings and your investments. Now the first outflow listed here may seem a bit unexpected, but it's really important because it's all about paying yourself first. Putting money into your savings and investment accounts is considered an outflow of cash and is one of the most important outflows that you'll have if you're trying to build wealth. And this is where most people go wrong. They pay all of their bills, and whatever's left at the end of the month, then they consider saving that. But what usually ends up happening is that the extra money gets used in other ways and then spent on other things, and then you barely have enough energy to subscribe to the channel, and then your money never makes it to the savings account. The point of a cash flow statement is to figure out where your money is going, and then to make a plan for each dollar that comes in and goes out, so that you know where your money is and that you can save an adequate amount at the end of the month. So making a plan to save a certain dollar amount each month, and then creating automatic systems to draw that money out of your checking account into a savings account or an investment account like Betterment, that's just one of the best ways to pay yourself first. Just like it is when you contribute to your 401k directly from your paycheck. You pay yourself first, and that retirement savings amount should be tracked here as well. Okay, the next section of your outflows includes your fixed and your variable expenses. Your fixed expenses are the things that you spend money on that really don't change from month to month. These are things like your mortgage or your rent payment, or even your auto loan payment, student loan payment, and insurance premiums. And the expenses that can change from month to month, those are called variable expenses, and those usually include items like food, clothing, travel, entertainment, or things like that. Now, unless you're living in a house that's well above your means, or you're driving an expensive car that you really shouldn't be driving anyways, your fixed expenses are usually an area that is really difficult to decrease. But if you look at your variable expenses from month to month, that's where you'll start to see some of the areas where you can make some adjustments. And look, I know some of you are thinking, Tim, this sounds a lot like a budget. Spend less than you earn, save more money, blah, blah, blah. This stuff is easy. And look, you're right. The math on this stuff, really easy. It's the behavior that's really difficult. I mean, it's establishing the right habits early on that's the challenge. I mean, I can't tell you how many times someone's walked into my clinic with back pain or knee pain, and they're 100 pounds overweight. Obviously, I didn't say, look, man, your back and your knees will hurt a heck of a lot less if you get rid of 100 pounds. We both know that he needs to lose 100 pounds by eating better and exercising, and it's my job to help encourage him to do that, but the point is, yes, the answer is simple. The action is the difficult part. Taking the time to track what you eat or get up and go for a walk, those are difficult challenges for a lot of people, and they're habits that need to be built. And it's the same thing in terms of tracking your expenses or trying to develop these smart money habits, like tracking your balance sheet or statement of cash flows. It's not a really difficult thing to do, but it's really easy to ignore. I mean, the math is a simple part. The spreadsheet does it all for you, but it's the discipline of following the plan that takes a little bit more energy, but it's definitely going to be worth it for sure when you get your financial health in check. Now, when we start to track our inflows and then our outflows, we can get a much better picture from month to month to see exactly how we behave when it comes to our finances. So instead of finishing the month wondering where our money went, we can approach new months knowing that we have a plan for the dollars that are coming in. Now you can quickly see how certain expenses might be keeping you from saving as much this month, or how a drop in your income might affect your net cash flow, which is that final number you get at the bottom of the statement. Obviously, this number can be positive or negative, but unlike a negative balance sheet, you really don't want to maintain a negative cash flow statement for too long, because that simply means you're overspending and you're getting into even more debt. You don't need that, but you probably could use a statement of cash flow template like the one we're using in this video today. So you're welcome to download it. Take a look at the link in the description below to get the spreadsheet. And if you haven't already watched the balance sheet video, you can watch that here. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.